If you're a person who is highly intelligent and you can see the abundance of opportunity all around you, you've overcome the odds in the past, you've hit your levels of success, but you're now at a point where you're confused because you feel lost and you feel distracted and you feel unfulfilled, but you don't know why that is and you don't know where to go from here, this video is for you. This is the moment in your journey where you need to address your hidden desires. You need to take a step back and you need to question why you feel unfulfilled. You've achieved levels of success, you did what others thought was impossible, but now you're stuck, okay? So you know that all these things are possible because you've done them once before, but now you've got a new normal, you've got a new pain threshold, you've got a new understanding, you've got more experience under your belt. And if you think you don't know what's next, I'm here to tell you that that's actually untrue. All the answers that you need and everything that you require to make them a reality, they are already here. You already have them. You just need to learn how to dig deeper into your own self-awareness. So by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 4 essential points to integrate into your life and to integrate into your own self-mastery so that you can break free from this rut that you're in, okay? Plato believed the biggest battles in this life are not against the world, they're against the desires that you haven't admitted to yourself. The trend of our culture is led by dopamine, from doom scrolling to instant gratification, entitlement, all these things that will keep you trapped and will shrink the capacity of your own controlled thinking. This is not a shock to anybody. Dopamine first habits are rewarding what Plato refers to as the appetite of soul. It's the short-term desires and drive within us. People, more often than not, are starting to want to see the speed of execution close faster and faster and faster and faster. And this is really easy to miss if you're not locked in. People are talking about speed of execution, but I'm telling you, the only thing that you need speed of execution in is your ability to make a decision. Because your speed of execution in doing anything, there's still a period of time before it's time to harvest the results. You win at life by mastering who you are and mastering your own mind. And that requires time. Rome wasn't built in a day, so how would your goal get built in a day? Okay, wake up. You've done this before. There's nothing about this that is actually a surprise to you. What you need to identify is where the collapse in your controlled thinking is occurring. Has your willpower been weakened? I noticed that my willpower definitely broke down because things were too easy for me. I started attracting all these things into my life and all these results that I honestly didn't feel like I had earned. I felt like it was way beyond what I identified with. It was just too easy. I got too comfortable too fast because I didn't realize the value of just being myself. You need to understand that who you are is going to produce an impact on other people, and that is a form of work, okay? It's a reflection of the work you've done within yourself in order for you to have that impact. I think of all the clients and all the people that I work with, and the people that I work with are 6 to 8 figure entrepreneurs. And I'm speaking to these people every single day, working, collaborating, creatively thinking, and executing, right? But that got so far to the point where I then started getting all these opportunities handed to me. I started getting exposed to new people in my network. And I thought, whoa, I didn't need to do anything for that. That was too easy. And it wasn't that I didn't value it. It wasn't that I didn't have gratitude for it. I just got out of touch. I fell out of touch. My willpower within started to melt away. It started to just disappear. And why is that? It's because I didn't believe that I had put in hard work. So I knew that I needed to change that belief. It is true. You can work less and earn more. You do not need to be trapped in this hustle culture of working every day and every minute and being busy for the sake of being busy so that you can tell people that you're on your emails, you're on your calls, you're doing all this just to sound like you're being productive. No, that is not the only way to succeed in this life. You will succeed in far bigger ways the more you put in work within yourself and then allow that natural impact to occur with others, okay? Everything in life comes down to collaboration. If you were a one-man island, there'd be no story to tell, there'd be no movie to watch, no one would care, even in Castaway. because I've said this before, no one would watch the movie. And someone said to me, they were like, oh, Castaway with Tom Hanks is a man on an island. But even at that, it's not really. Because he's got his football. And there's people at the beginning of the movie and then there's people at the end of the movie, okay? You're not alone at any point, and who you are is always going to be enough to get yourself to the next level. Always. That's something I've learned through experience. So I promise you, never doubt the things that you've done. Don't get cocky with what you've done. Don't get cocky with the opportunities that you've had, but also don't downplay them. That's what I was doing. I was downplaying everything in my life to the point where my self-esteem fell through the floor. Now, I still knew my worth. I still had respect for myself. I still showed up with care for my personal appearance and everything like that. But behind closed doors, I felt empty because I didn't feel like I was growing. I didn't feel like I was earning the things that I was receiving. And that's hard, especially if you're a person who has had to beat the odds growing up. If you have actually had to put in the work to make yourself belong where you are, then I know that that's something that really matters to you. It's a part of your identity to work hard. But in order to hit the next level, you need to change what you identify with. You need to unlock that hidden desire within yourself. If you want to feel like you're earning it, but you do actually seek a freedom of time and you do seek these opportunities, you need to evolve. The first piece of advice that I would give to anybody is you need to name the unnamed. What desires are you pretending not to have? Because I was going through a couple of years of my life there where I was enjoying how easy it was, but deep down, I wanted to stretch. All of us have that human nature to seek expansion and fuller expression of yourself, to have something where you are demanding the impossible from within. You need to be able to identify that. You need to expand the view that you have on the world. You need to expand your understanding of what a capitalist society actually means and how do you get to the top. Now, when your self-mastery gets to the point where you are able to fully accept, embody, and emulate the value of what I was talking about earlier, being yourself and allowing that impact to occur in the world, when you reach that point, you'll need a whole new handbook and manual for how you go through this life. But for right now, you want to get yourself to that point and you need to name the unnamed desires that you have. If your life looks amazing, if your life looks so challenging, then you need to look and say, what do I really, 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 honest to God, what do I want? And if you don't know what you want, beautiful place to be. Ask. Put it out there. Say that you're open to getting inspiration to see where the next step is for you. You have to do this because when you ask a question, by law, an answer exists. And it just comes down to, are you in alignment with that idea and that answer? Are you receptive to discerning it? Are you receptive to understanding it? When you go to identify what your hidden desires actually are, you have to be prepared to get the answer. The answer might scare the living daylights out of you, or the answer might deflate you. And if it does, then you ask another question. You say, well, what's that going to lead to? Or what part of me is wanting to avoid the answer to that? What part of me doesn't want that to be the truth? Because that's just a stepping stone to the actual real deep truth. And to make it easy for yourself, don't let yourself sit in just wild thought. You need to write it all down, okay? Declutter the mind, put pen to paper, and get these thoughts out. Do a list. Write down every single thing that you want. Be receptive to the answers. Put the questions out there. And when you get an answer, write it down. And then think about it. And then develop that, okay? Because everything is just refinement. And, you know, when you explore your own mind, you do not know what's going to come up. So you need to be open and prepared for that. Number 2, put your potential in charge. The current version of you, the current set of beliefs that you have, that's what's been taking the lead on everything that's got you to where you are today, okay? Renounce that person's role. Take the responsibility away from who you are right now and put your potential in charge. When you see that list of desires, you look at that and you ask yourself honestly, is this possible? Is this something that I could wrap my head around, accept, believe, and achieve? The answer will be yes, because if it came into your mind, that means it can be done, okay? Go ahead and let that part of you take control. Are you going to be scared that you're going to lose the financial status that you had? Are you going to be afraid that it might not work out? Yeah, maybe. And you know what? If you don't have those feelings, you aren't stretching yourself far enough. So embrace that. Put yourself back into the winner's seat of delayed gratification, okay? Know that it's gonna take time, and know that if it didn't take time, it wouldn't be worth the result. See, when you overcome the slippery slope that you get stuck in, all of us do it. Now, maybe you get stuck in it in a weekly basis or a monthly basis, or maybe you get stuck in the dopamine first culture every single day. But as you replace your dopamine first habits with a long-term return on investment, the worth and the value that you place on your skill set and your vision, it's going to far outweigh the instant gratification of validation from anyone in any realm, okay? Let your potential take the lead, and all that validation that you need from your current self, put it on the back burner. Number 3, you need to create an inner government. You need to become the observer of your life again. And you've already kind of done this because you had to take a step back to do step 1 when it comes to naming the unnamed. As you do that, you're going to spot what's actually ruling your life. Because it's really easy for anybody to sit and say, oh, it's instant gratification, doom scrolling your phone. It's really easy to say that's your problem. But maybe your current level of wisdom is what's ruling you. Maybe it's capping you and closing your mind to more ideas, to better ways of life. Maybe your age is what's ruling you. Maybe you think, oh, I'm always the youngest person in the room, so I must be the furthest ahead. I remember when I was 18 years old and my brother sent me a letter when he lived in Austria. He said, Rachel, pride always comes before the fall. It never misses its shot. If you are living in a mentality of pride, that's an invisible thing, but you feel it off people. And sometimes pride is so subtle. You need to be proud of yourself as a person. But if your pride is rooted in enmity, then it's a problem for you. What is enmity? Enmity is hatred, right? So if you have pride that's anchored in enmity, you're basically saying you're better than everybody else in the world. Or maybe not everybody in the world, but you're saying that you're better than the people that you're around. And that is unhealthy, and that will be your undoing in such a big way. Create an inner government. Observe who the ruler actually is, and build systems to protect your moral compass. That's really important. Your moral compass, you need to look at the human virtues, you need to look at what you believe, you need to look at your values, and you need to look at the impact that you want to have on other people. Then pull that all back, look at the vision that you've just drawn out. How important is wisdom? How important is age? How important are your cravings, your addictions? How important are all of these things? What is actually controlling you? What is it that dictates your decisions? Is it the people that are going to be at events? The money that you stand to earn from certain contracts and deals? What are the things that you are dealing with on the table, and what needs to take the lead on the foundation of your vision and the structure of your values? And number 4, always remember that spiritual self-awareness is always the strategy. I will say this to the day I die. This is the most important thing. Self-awareness is the key to freedom for you, for your loved ones, for your enemies, for everybody, right? You don't actually have any enemies, by the way. Anybody who's sitting acting from a place of revenge or acting in spite of someone else, grow up, okay? No one is against you because no one's competing with you, okay? No one in your marketplace is competing with you. No other entrepreneurs are competing with you. No one else in your industry can do that, because you yourself are one of a kind as a person. And when your self-awareness goes up the levels, you're only ever fighting against yourself. I promise you that. The life you lead, it's you today versus who you were yesterday. Every single time. You know that you're matching your own performance. You're outdoing your own personal best every single day. That is the objective. And when you can lock in on your self-awareness and develop a self-mastery that gives you a further line of sight, you are going to be the person that does everything that anybody else said they couldn't do. You will be the person who continues to achieve the impossible no matter the circumstances, okay? No matter what it is you desire. If you want all the free time in the world, or if you want all the tasks in the world to earn all the money in the world, whatever it is you're actually going after, you can do it if you master your self-awareness. Understand that your hidden desires are either healing your soul or they're hurting your soul. That's where self-sabotage comes in a lot. Say maybe you're stuck in bed every day and it takes you ages to get out of bed, or it takes you ages to, I don't know, respond to your prospects. If it takes you a long time to get back to people, where is that self-sabotage actually coming from? It's usually coming from a fear of success, okay? Because you know you've got the potential within you and you're afraid that if you unlock that, if you make that level of potential at your genuine automatic performance level, you don't know what to do with yourself because it's so unfamiliar. A lot of people are scared of that because it would change the trajectory of their life. It would transform their day-to-day. They wouldn't have the same set of problems and they'd have a new set of desires. And because you can't grasp that mentally, if you're not actually training yourself to do that, if you're not able to hold the performance of your potential as a concept, you'll never embrace it as a reality. That's where self-sabotage comes from. More often than not, it's always the fear of success. So just know that your hidden desires are affecting your spiritual self-awareness. They're either hurting you or healing you and keeping you going, okay? And one final thing that I will say for the person who needs to find themselves again and feel fulfilled again, take a beat and go back to responding instead of reacting. The more you're able to be honest with yourself and open that space for yourself mentally, you're going to be able to let go of a lot of old thoughts, a lot of old beliefs, and you're going to be able to recreate yourself and move into that evolved version of you.